Hey everybody, welcome into the Delmarva Sports Insider, your award-winning live and local show dedicated to giving you all local sports. I'm Sports Director Brandon Boss.
What is up? It is yours truly, sports anchor Devin J. Martin. Welcome into the show. It was a lot of great football action tonight, Brandon. I think one of the most exciting Fridays yet.
Yeah, this is probably the most exciting Friday Night Lights that we've seen so far this year. It did not disappoint whatsoever.
Not at all. I mean, we had a lot of down-to-the-wire games, a lot of just great, evenly matched games, just how I like it. A lot of things that people should get excited to see these highlights for.
Yeah, I think that the game that we're starting off with tonight in the Bayside challenges Y-High Decatur and Bennett Cambridge for game of the year. It had everything. You know what? Cole Howard, our photographer that went out to this game, says it was the game of the year.
And I think I agree with him. It was Queen Anne's and Easton. It had star power, back and forth action, and they are really two great teams at the top of the Bayside.
That's
throwing
right.
haymakers, and that's what you like to see.
All right, so let's start this off with Easton. Kevin O'Connor taking it in, lowers his shoulders, slams his way into the end zone. Easton on top, and they would keep on moving. This time O'Connor back up in the pocket, finds Jordan Nixon. He's been lethal on the outside this year. Easton on top 14-7. Don't count out the Lions, though. We move to the third. It's KJ Smothers. Going to hear a lot of this guy. Gets the ball. He runs it in for the Lions. Queen Anne's trying to mount that comeback. But Kevin O'Connor going to keep his team in front, keeps it himself, runs up the middle, slips some tackles, and he is in. Easton up 28-20.
And Queen Anne's trying to tie this thing up right here. KJ's going to get the ball again. He's not going to be denied. He runs it in for 6, as he's been doing all year for the Lions. Queen Anne's is only down 2, and KJ was fired up after getting that TD. But unfortunately, the Lions would miss a 2-point conversion. Now, 4th down play for the Warriors. Kevin O'Connor is going to air this one out, and Chase Rabb stretches out, but it falls just incomplete. Turnover on downs, and the Lions still have a chance to win this game. And they would take it all the way down to the 15-yard line, over 40 seconds left in the game to decide, but they decide to go for the 28-yard field goal, and it's no good. That was for the win. They were down 2. They wanted to win by 1, and they missed the field goal. Easton holds on to it and wins in dramatic fashion. I can't believe that happened, Brandon.
Yeah, neither can I. That was an interesting call. We'll get to it after we hear from Kevin O'Connor.
We just never gave up. Trust each other. That was the main thing. I mean, each play, when the offense didn't go do their thing, defense stepped up. We bent, definitely, but we didn't break. And I love this team so much, man. That's what held us together. We were celebrating a little excessively there at the end, I know, and I guarantee you nobody on this team has forgotten about our loss to Y-High, which is, that's how we know we still got a ton of work. We got to focus on Bennett this next week with everything we got, and it's from there.
Wow.
Hey, you got to give Easton a lot of credit, but let's start off with that decision to go for the field goal at the end of this game.
Reminds me of the Super Bowl Patriots Seahawks. They
didn't
run the ball.
Different.
A little. I think a lot of head scratching decisions by the coaching staff.
I mean, I understand you're down 2.
Right.
You have a chance to go for the field goal there at the end, but you got 2 timeouts. There's 40 seconds left on the clock.
Right.
It's not even 4th down.
Right.
It's third down at that point. You got a couple of timeouts. You're at the 15-yard line, and instead of handing it off to KJ Smothers, who has been automatic in this game, he had over 300 yards.
They instead say, you know what, our field goal kicker, we trust him to take this game over and win the game for us. Wow.
I feel for the kicker missing that kick in that clutch spot, but man, I gotta like Queen Anne's came into this game 5-0. Okay, they're a great team, and who knows what could have happened if they hand the ball off to Smothers. Maybe they get a little bit closer. Maybe they don't get the first down. Maybe Smothers scores a touchdown in that situation.
Right, but they had everything on their side, as you mentioned. 40 seconds left, 15 yards out, and 2 timeouts, and it was only third down. So even if they give it to Smothers and it's maybe 4th and 3 or 4th and 1, that difference in terms of it being a 28-yard field goal to maybe a 22-yard field goal or 20-yard field goal at the high school level makes all the difference. And I think that just kind of symbolizes everything that kind of happened tonight with Queen Anne's. I mean, they shot themselves in the foot with also like unnecessary flags and penalties that gave Easton extra first downs, and they were momentum killers for the Lions. And it took the wind out of their sails before Easton would march downfield and score. Kevin O'Connor, as you mentioned, with the Warriors, he was really great today. He had 3 rushing touchdowns and a passing touchdowns. And then again, we got to go back to that decision at the end of the game. I just think that's just a head-scratching decision. I don't know. With KJ having 300 yards more on the ground, 4 rushing touchdowns with 2 timeouts left, I think they have to run that in.
But hey, give credit to Easton because they were up 21-7 early in this game. They're able to hang on. I don't believe they gave up the lead at all in this game.
Right.
Easton is a very good team this
Absolutely.
year. They went 3-6 last year, have their new head coach, Matt Griffith, and they look dynamic because they not only have Kevin O'Connor at quarterback, who looks like he might be the best field general in the entire conference.
Absolutely.
They also have Nixon on the outside, and they have a really good running back in Brandon Jenkins as well, who has a lot of speed in the backfield.
And I think, as we'll talk about later, I think, Coach Griffith has kind of broken down this team from what they were last year when he came back and took the helm over this offseason and just made a completely new team. And it's been working so far, as you can see. I mean, they have a large enough sample size to show that they're definitely a team to be reckoned with.
I'll tell you what, I do the power rankings every week. I don't know what to do about the Bayside this week.
No, absolutely not. We have too many teams. We have one team that always gets out in front, and then they lose to someone else, and then another team gets out in front, and then they lose to someone else, and it's always just a rotating door of, I think, the same 5 teams.
Man, I don't know what to do. Anyway, we've got plenty more to get to. How about another fantastic ending out in Berlin?
Absolutely.
Offense at a premium in the first half. Kicker Brogan Eastlack for Decatur, giving the Seahawks a 3-0 lead. And that was the score at halftime. North Carolina finally gets on the board in the second half. Trent Townsend gets the rock, powers his way in for the touchdown. Decatur coming right back, though. Bryson Coleman moved to wide receiver. Nathan Tapley in at quarterback, airing it out. And Coleman uses that wingspan to his advantage. Decatur out in front now. But hold the phone. Bulldogs bite back. David Sathoff on the draw. Great blocking in front. He goes in for the score. Final minutes, it's Tapley again, dropping back. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Finds Coleman in the same corner again. Nothing the DB can do there. Touchdown Decatur. This was the last gasp of the game. Ball falls through the receiver's hands there as Decatur hangs on to win a fantastic game. 16-14 the final score.
Now out to Cambridge, Vikings hosting the Y-High Tribe. Y-High's coming off of back-to-back losses, and they were hungry tonight. Makai Johnson gets up the gut. Y-High led by 21 at halftime. You see the score right there, and they continue to pour it on in the third. Darius Foreman in the shotgun, and he flips it to Malik Leatherbury, and Mr. Showtime is going to leave the Vikings in the dust. Look at him right there. Leatherbury had 6 catches for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Tribe. You see he was posing for the camera, so was his teammates. And the Y-High defense
when you're that good, you can pose.
Absolutely, and the defense is just as good, too. They were relentless tonight. Jordan Dickerson with the great containment on Darren Belizaire. The Tribe goes on to win 42-7. They are 4-2 on the year.
So let's get to the other final scores from around the area. Colonel Richardson taking care of Kent County 20-6. Bennett goes across the bridge and falls to Southern 33-13. And Snow Hill picks up a win against Washington 20-0, the final score. That's the second win on the season for the Eagles. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap up the rest of the Bayside now. I'm going to focus on Decatur for a second. I had them ranked fourth in the Bayside this week, even though they had a tremendous win against Y-High. They don't have that same offense as last season, but it is impressive to watch them keep finding ways to win out there against Y-High and then against North Carolina tonight. And the offense put together a clutch drive at the end of this game, and then the defense held against North Carolina when they were driving. But I was talking to somebody at the Y-High game earlier tonight about how Decatur just doesn't look the same with Bryson Coleman at quarterback instead of at wide receiver. And, hey, you come back into the office tonight, you see Bryson Coleman out at wide receiver. I mean, when you have Coleman and Luke Murgott, those are maybe 2 of the best weapons in the entire conference on the outside. And if Tapley can deliver the ball, which it looked like he did.
Yeah, those are 2 good touchdown throws.
That might be their offense moving forward.
Yeah, we will see. And I think, as I mentioned before, Easton, for me, they've been the biggest surprise of the season. I mean, they had the best turnaround. As you mentioned, they were 3-6 last year, and they had the tough loss to Y-High earlier in the season. But they showed that they were something real after they destroyed Kent Island at the very beginning of the season, and they've had impressive wins. Kent Island and Easton, this is a team that you got to watch out for in the Bayside.
Yeah, Easton 5-1 now, 4-0 in the Bayside North Conference. That'll do it for the A block. We're taking a timeout. Catch your breath because we've got more wild action from the Henlopen coming up.
Hey, this is Kevin O'Connor with Easton Basketball and Football, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.